compression garment and sleeping position after body contouring surgery. That is a important topic, a very researched topic, frequent questions. Some people overthink it, some people underthink it, but it's extremely important for your results. You know, the example I'm showing you is a young patient of mine. She had a combo surgery, rib remodeling, and buttock implants and BBL. She wears a so-called shorty, that's a short compression garment, plus a corset. The corset not everybody will need after a BBL. This is for rib surgery, but you see here that is an optimum fit, and this is what we want to achieve with a good garment, because a compression garment is not the tighter the better. That is something that many patients think, but for me, more shockingly, many surgeons seem to think that too. It's not the more compression, the better the results. In contrast, too much compression is actually worse than too little, because what happens? Perfectly dosed compression will shape your tissues. Too much compression will strangulate your tissues. So if the pressure is right, a garment should feel nice and tight, but not strangulating. You shape your tissues, you reduce swelling, very important. You bring things back into place, and you have a perfect circulation, blood supply to your skin, which is important for your healing. Ideally, we want you to sleep with the garment for the first 6 weeks to get the optimum effect. You see here, and I've picked this case because I think it really gives you an idea about how much skin you need to compress after a very intensive lipo. You see this case here where I think we probably sucked out about 3 liters just around the waist areas. There's a lot of skin that needs to be redraped, and perfect compression here contributes to a result like this. It's the surgery, but the good compression afterwards. So I'm showing you this case to lobby a little bit for the importance of good compression. How long do you want to wear it? I'd recommend 12 weeks in total, and I like to split that up because I want to be clear about this. The first 6 weeks is probably the most important period. In the first 6 weeks, that is where compression is most efficient. This is where compression brings you the most benefit. The second 6 weeks, it gives an additional benefit, but it's not as essential as the first 6 weeks. So I would probably say 80% of the compression effect is in the first 6 weeks and 20% in the second 6 weeks. But if you do this surgery, if you take this effort, if you take all these efforts to get a perfect result, then you want to take the full shot and do it 3 months. What I recommend for the perfect dosage, to avoid overcompression. That's very important for me. As I say, as important as avoiding overcompression, undercompression is avoiding overcompression. So what I have perceived as a very efficient, good and working protocol is asking my patients to wear the compression 23 hours a day and take it 1 hour off. So the skin can breathe, you get optimum perfusion, because that is a factor that many people underestimate. Too much compression can cut your blood supply. Many of my patients have combo procedures, for example, the breast or a so-called tummy tuck, together with their body contouring, with their Brazilian butt lift. After a tummy tuck, you cannot sleep on your tummy. Please don't even try. That's impossible. So what we do in these patients is we use a floater. I prefer a kind of avocado-style inflatable floater, very workable thing. You need a few days to get used to it, but very efficient thing to do. It's equal to sleeping on your tummy. We prefer sleeping on your tummy, but after a tummy tuck, that's the best solution. Now, let me explain the 3 stages. The first stage is directly after surgery. We put a garment on which is not kind of super tight, because you cannot have a super tight garment directly after surgery. It's a so-called stage 1 garment, and we want you to wear that day and night, because this is the most critical period. You're directly after surgery. There will be a lot of swelling, so the compression has to control the swelling going overboard. but it shouldn't overcompress. So you cannot put the tight stage 1 garment directly after surgery. People try to do that, but I think that is gross nonsense, which does more harm than good. So stage 1 is really for the first week or 2 weeks, depending. I'm showing you a case here that's roughly 2 weeks after surgery. The young lady had a wonderful BBL and implants. And this is where we change from stage 1 to stage 2. Her swelling has gone down. She already got more or less very close to her results, so we change her to stage 2. Stage 2 should feel tight. Should it feel tight? Yes, it should feel tight, but it should not feel strangulating. So it shouldn't be painful. It shouldn't be grossly uncomfortable. It shouldn't feel like you have to struggle to breathe. No, that is too tight, and a tighter compression is not a better compression. So it's something that just has to fit snugly, and again, releasing it for an hour a day is a fantastic option. What you will feel likely, and I have that with nearly all of my patients, after 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks, they suddenly say, "Oh, I feel my garment is coming loose." But the garment is not coming loose, but the body is going down. So with the swelling going down and down and down, in the end, the garment will be too big. So then we change another time. We downsize the garment, so-called stage 3. And we ask you to continue that. It's really worth the effort. I mean, you're reshaping your body. You're getting a whole new body. This is something that I think it's relatively easy to sit out, but the final result is really worth it. Having said that, the garment is something that many patients even come to like over time, and they don't mind wearing it, especially corsets and waist trainers are something that patients often wear beyond their surgery. But I think these second 6 weeks are really worth the effort. The results are showing that it's worth it. Now, this is a very interesting diagram for everybody who's considering body contouring surgery, is wondering about compression garment, and I think it's a beautiful curve to demonstrate the detrimental effect of overcompression, because you see in this diagram how skin perfusion dips down, how compression strangulates the skin. So you see that the curve is going down with increasing compression, and when you have about 30 millimeter of surface compression, you really get an important strangulation of skin perfusion. No more blood goes into the healing skin, and that is exactly what we want to avoid, because what happens then, you get fibrosis, and fibrosis is something that with a good garment you want to avoid. Sleeping position. If you have a Brazilian butt lift, if you only have a lipo, it doesn't matter. But if you have a Brazilian butt lift and we shape your buttock, which is what most of my patients are looking for, then I'd really ask you to try and sleep 4 weeks on your tummy. If you sleep on your back for a night, the buttock will not fall off. But you take these efforts, you want a great result. So that's very, very helpful to do. Sleep 4 weeks on your tummy. From week 4, you can sleep on your back, because the fat has taken, things have settled in. Fat that hasn't taken within 4 weeks will not take afterwards. That's gone. Where we ask for a bit of more leeway is for the sides, because shaping the hips, when you come with hip dips, and we want to create nice round hips and an hourglass shape, you want to protect the hips from pressure, because fat can easily shift there. If you lie on your side, you're not going to kill the fat, but you can shift it to areas where we don't want it. So please avoid lying on your side before 6 weeks. And again, if you have it together with the tummy tuck or with the breast surgery, no problem. We have a good protocol for this. We just use a floater to protect the projection point of the buttock from pressure. So hang in there. These 12 weeks are really, really worth it. If you stop too early, I think the main issue is swelling. Swelling slows down your recovery, mars your result. You might lose a bit of shape. You can't even have a late fluid buildup, a so-called seroma, and all the effort you have taken can be a little bit compromised. You'll still have a result, but if you wear your compression garment disciplinedly, your result will be better. So think of it as a bit of team play. We have to row in the same direction. We are trying to give you a perfect dedicated surgery with a super result, but we need your help. with the compression. If you wear that, we'll have such a better outcome. Surgeon is happier, patient is happier. So it's worth it. It's an investment in your body, which you hopefully can enjoy all your life. So for all my body contouring fans, I hope that was a helpful guideline, and we really look forward to hearing from you and helping you through this. So don't hesitate to contact us. We're looking forward to that.